The slave cages of Drakthar Prime reeked of despair. Iron and ozone, blood and old tears. Rows of prisoners lined the market square, some crying, some snarling, most just blank-eyed. The Zorak cartel had made a business out of suffering, and on this gray morning, another auction had begun. Among the slaves was a young alien girl named Kalira. She was Cyrenian, a species once known for their beauty, empathy, and telepathic sensitivity. But after their planet fell to warlords, most were captured and sold across the outer colonies. Kalira was barely of age, and her once luminous violet skin had faded to ash blue from malnutrition. Her silver-white hair hung in matted strands, and the slave collar on her neck buzzed with warning energy. She had been sold 3 times before, each time worse than the last. And now, as buyers began circling again, she curled deeper into the corner of her cell, eyes hollow, body trembling. That's when he arrived. A tall, middle-aged man in worn-out cargo boots and an outdated flight jacket. His beard was graying, and his left eye was cybernetic, flickering gently. He had the look of someone who had seen too much war and not enough peace. His name was Jonas Thorne, a retired Earth Fleet engineer, now a salvage hauler drifting from system to system. He didn't come to buy a slave. He came for fuel cells and spare bolts, but fate had other plans. As he passed the cages, something stopped him, a flicker of movement, 2 hollow eyes staring at him, not with hope, not even with fear, but with silent resignation. Kalira. Their eyes met. She immediately looked away. She had learned not to make eye contact. It invited attention, and attention always hurt. Jonas paused. Something stirred inside him, an old memory of his daughter long dead who once looked at him with similar eyes after a bombing raid. He turned to the auctioneer. "That one, how much?" The Zorak slaver chuckled. "Defective. Barely responds. Might be brain burned. Give me 500 creds and she's yours. No returns." He transferred the credits without blinking. Kalira didn't move when they removed her collar. She didn't react when Jonas wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. She didn't ask where he was taking her. She already assumed it would end the same way. Pain. On board the Talon's Reach, Jonas's worn-down salvage ship, Kalira sat in silence while he set a warm meal in front of her. "You're safe here," he said quietly. She didn't answer. He didn't push. Days passed. He gave her clothes, a private room, and never locked the door. When she woke up screaming, he simply sat outside until she calmed. When she refused to eat, he adjusted the meal replicator to mimic Cyrenian nutrition patterns. He even cleaned her wounds without asking questions. And slowly, she began to watch him. Jonas wasn't soft. He swore like a pirate, grumbled when fixing the engines, and talked to his ship like it was alive. But he never raised his voice at her, never looked at her like property. He treated her like a person. One night during a meteor storm near the Helix Belt, she finally spoke. "Why didn't you hurt me?" He looked up from his toolkit. "Because no one deserves that, especially not someone who's already suffered more than enough." "Then why buy me?" He paused, then said, "Because no one else was going to save you." That night, Kalira cried herself to sleep for the first time in years, not out of fear, but because she'd been shown kindness she didn't know still existed. Their bond grew. Kalira began helping on the ship, repairing panels, navigating asteroid fields, even learning how to pilot. Her telepathy slowly returned, suppressed for so long it felt like using a broken limb. She discovered Jonas had been a war hero once, until Earth Fleet abandoned a colony during a siege. He'd lost his family in that betrayal, 2 broken souls orbiting each other. And then came trouble. The Sular Syndicate, who once owned Kalira, tracked them down. She was supposed to be sold to a crime boss, an order that had gone unfulfilled because Jonas had intervened. They wanted her back. A bounty was placed. Ships followed them through jump gates. Jonas was forced to dive into uncharted territory, the Crimson Drift, a region of volatile plasma storms and derelict warships. They made their stand on an abandoned battle cruiser adrift in the storm. With old weapon systems barely functional, and only Kalira's emerging psychic gifts to guide them, The odds were grim. As Syndicate drones breached the hull, Jonas handed her a pulse rifle. "You don't have to do this," he said. "I do," she replied. "For you." The battle was chaos, blaster fire, collapsing corridors, plasma sparks lighting the dark. Jonas took a hit to the ribs. Kalira held off 3 drones with a psychic shield that pulsed brighter with her pain. In the end, she overloaded the main reactor, using her mind to trap the Syndicate ships in a gravitational surge. They barely escaped before the cruiser imploded, dragging the enemy into the void. Wounded, bleeding, but alive, they drifted into the quiet safety of neutral space. Weeks later, on a green moon with twin suns, Kalira helped Jonas install a new energy core on the Talon's reach. "You could leave," he said, tightening a bolt. "You're free now. No one owns you." She smiled gently. "Why would I leave my home?" He turned to her. "I mean it," he said. "You deserve better than a broken-down hauler and a broken-down man." "You gave me more than anyone in the galaxy ever did," she whispered. "You saved me from dying in chains. You gave me a name again. You gave me choice." She stepped closer. "And now I choose you." She kissed him, soft, hesitant, but full of truth, not because she was grateful, not because he rescued her, because she loved him. A man scarred by war, a girl shattered by slavery. Together, they had found something neither thought they'd ever see again: hope. And as the Talon's reach soared back into the stars, they left behind a universe still scarred and cruel, but with one bright trail of light cutting through the dark.